Here it is from magicjudge.tumblr.com. Yeah. But I mean, most good judges, Max, will be aware of what's going on with Brain, because it's kind of all the rage. There's plenty of people that are messing around with it, so... If they don't know, then they're kind of just not in the know. Also, Celestial Purge is pretty specific. That was something I haven't been testing in paper because it's so specific. Bringing my own notes? Okay, well then I'll just write it myself. Is my friend still going to play a Brain combo? Who? Oh, the one I can't mention? The version I can't mention? I can't disclose that, Alondria. That's not fair to him. I think he should. The deck seems strong. It seems stronger than any of the other Brain decks. Max isn't thinking of it. Well, you just need to be ready. Purge is great against the Jeskai decks, though. Purge is great against multiple decks. Ball says, my local tournament, I went 5-0 with Grizzlebrain. Nice. Kills Nihiri, Jikis, etc. No, I like the Purge. I've been testing the Purge on and off. I wish I had room to do all the things that I want to do with the sideboard, but, you know, I don't. You do eventually have to make a choice. But in paper, the Ajani will probably be a Boomba. Magic Online, I can just test an Ajani. That's fine. I also wanted to mess around with like Thing in the Ice plus Spellskite, but never did. Or at least for this deck. I will in other places. Yeah, I mean like you know, it does everything from take out Blood Moons to yeah, I mean like the Celestial's fine. Hunter says the Nihiri combo too good. Tony says I still like the Bant version of this deck. Which deck are you more comfortable with, Jonely? I would say play whichever one you're more comfortable with. Yeah, I've liked the Celestial. It's come up. What's up, Lauren? I mean, another option is to actually consider the Crumble to Dust. Jeez. The thing is there's really not many matchups outside of Tron that I would want to bring it in. You know? I mean, against Scapeshift, you can kind of sometimes bring a card like that in. Maybe you get lucky, and maybe you get to hit their Valakut. But that's going to happen more so against, like, Titan Shift. That's not going to happen against something like stock blue, green, red Scape Shift. It's not bad, Severed. Get a playmat that says Jund out. Knuckle tattoos that say Jund Life. Yeah, Nahiri's solid. I mean, I would do maybe a split, like maybe you main deck the Boom Bust and then you have a Crumble of the board. I don't know. I don't know how much of this effect that I really would want. And see, that's my problem. Because, like, Crumble is specific to Tron. It is. Whereas Boom Bust, you can Boom Bust anyone, and if they haven't been sandbagging lands, they're kind of in trouble. They're kind of in trouble. Just saying. We can test one, though. Nah, play Infect, random chance you win the whole GP. Yeah, like, I wouldn't run more than 2 Crumbles in the 70... Well, they'd be sideboard. But, I mean, and to that effect, like, the main deck I wish would have access to that Boom Bust instead of something like an Ajani. But we can test that. Thanks for the Fallerino Shrizo. Bust is so sick against Shift. I know, that's what I'm trying to say. I wish we could do it on Magic Online. I just can't. I mean, you need to be careful. If you're not going to run something like Crucible, sandbag a land or 2. So you do need to be careful. Enough fun money points. I don't have enough. Do I have enough ticks? I think I have some ticks, though. Serene says Brain Bust. Brain Vision. Brain Bust. You can't play Brain Bust on Magic Online yet, but maybe someday. I know we're still in solitaire mode. I'm really tired, but maybe I'll start another league. I don't promise to finish it, but I'll start another one. We can start another one. Surprised none of you guys have been asking about the Legacy deck we played tonight. Because that's still the stream title, I think. Surprised. Are there any more effects like Hex Mage? You can remove counters from Brain at instant speed. Oh, you want to run Hex Mage with Brain? That's not crazy. This is us without the Chronos, by the way. No, we're not playing Legacy. Johnny says, I know there's going to be a lot of Abs and Coco and Jund. Well, right. I mean, that's why I was main decking an Anger for a while. I was doing a 1-1 split on my Angers. Dirty Morty says not to cast 0 cost spells. Yeah, I mean, the best ways that we found... I mean, I don't really very much think about Cryptic when it comes to Brain. That just seems like such a pipe dream, because that takes 5 mana. I actually look more towards the Thopter Foundry and the Core. Power Conduit. Pity, says Anemone. Playtested Dredge versus Living End, and he said the matchup's so bad he could board out Living Ends and board in Relic of Progenitus. Right, you need to do something like Bounce or Sacrifice Jar. Yeah, so Sacrificing Jar has been my go-to. Bouncing Jar, I think, is just a pipe dream. I mean, we tested that, right? That it does indeed, at least on Magic Online, let you do that. You can Cryptic bounce up Brain. It's a pipe dream. It's not really. Blue gives you Almagrim, Narco, and Shoal. You're gonna run Shoal? Ambitious. Is it like Manaless Dredge? I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Shoal as much as the next guy, although the next guy doesn't like Shoal. The only time I ever saw Shoal used relatively well, I saw a guy playing a variant of Blue-White-Red, or it was just either Blue-White or Blue-White-Red Delver, and his deck was able to consistently Shoal for the early numbers in the game between 1 and 3. But he wasn't able to shoal for 0. He wasn't able to shoal for 4 or above. He was able to shoal relatively consistently in that window, that small niche, that window of 1 to 3 converted mana cost. And it was a Geist. It was blue-white red Geist. Imagine repealing your own brain. Yeah, you could repeal the brain. How much mana is that though? That's a 4 mana play. Isn't that a 4 mana play? Because you need to activate the brain. Whereas the Cryptic Command sure is a 5 mana play, but Cryptic Command seems more flexible than repeal. Overmaster says 3 mana play. Is it? Yeah, it's a 4 mana play, isn't it? Yeah. So I mean, like, I think the command's fine, even though it's a 5 mana play. I mean, I'm not looking to do that, Overmaster. I think that the bounce plays on the brain are much worse than the sacrifice ones. Sure, you get to keep the brain in a jar, but we've got a play set. I haven't missed it. Like, honestly, I'm just so happy getting that 3 card draw that I just don't care. Oh, so we've been in the queue for 3 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Cryptic, although, yes, does take more mana than running something like a repeal. I don't think you need to keep the brain. I think you're just happy to crack it. I think you're happy to sacrifice it to draw 3 instant speed. I don't think... And both interactions do gain you a life, whether it's with the Foundry or with the Core, both of which will gain you that life point. Alright, we've been paired. We'll see if we like the Ajani. I mean, I've always liked the Ajani in blue, white, red, but we'll see if we actually like it here. You know what? If we like the Ajani, maybe what I'll do is I'll swap the Ajani for the main deck. Okay, I got a plan. Keep. This is an aggressive keep, though, for me. This hand hinges a lot on this brain. Why? Well, the only thing I can cast naturally is the Path. I'm hoping that we draw another land, though. Alright, good luck, have fun. Alright, opponent mulligans to 5. Keeps... Isn't there one that's like blue X bounce, permanent unless the controller pays X? Alright, put a card on top. Alright. Yeah, I mean, like, we're hinging on this brain to really help. And I hope that it does. Insolent is sweet. Okay, so the old Ghost Quarter do nothing. That could be taxes. It's probably taxes. So now here's the interesting thing about Muddle. Muddle's a little bit different than Remand and Mana Leak in that when the counter magic's bad, you can just transmute. Oh wow, Darkslick? Never mind. This is something very different. This is very different. This could be Tezzerator. Leading on Ghost Quarter. Okay. Could be Tezzerator. Could be... Fairies? I don't know. We'll see. Overmaster thinks it's Thopter Tez. Could be. Very well could be. How's my Jund matchup? You'd be surprised, Max. I've had a few Jund players Abrupt Decay or Kolaghan's Command. I've had Grixis players do this too. They've Abrupt Decayed or Kolaghan's commanded the Brain in a Jar at the wrong time. Maybe Fairies? It could be. Basically, I've gone to activate Brain in a Jar with no counters on it, and then they've like immediately Abrupt Decayed it or immediately Kolaghan's commanded it. And then I'm like, okay. And then I draw 3. If you have the Ancestral in hand. He takes the Snapcaster Mage. That's reasonable. Okay, so we have an Ancestral. If you think he's Grixis... I don't think he's Grixis. If you think he's Grixis, you actually don't charge up the brain. You just say go. Yeah, say go. We'll see if this guy does that if he's running the red splash for Kolaghan's Command. That'd be sweet. Could hope. Gotta hope. Nope, that's a swamp. So we don't get to live the dream, but that's okay. We're gonna need to draw another land though. Preferably not the second plains. I am running 2 basic plains.